Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube today. Today is September 2nd and Thursdays at 1400 Eastern Time. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late today. But we're looking at this video. We're looking at SB from the SBSK Facebook post, and there's not a lot this week to add. There's a few little things. So, I appreciate everybody being here. We'll be logged in. The show notes will have. Excuse me, my brain's not working as well as it should today. Show notes will have the links to these videos as well as the link to the SBSK Facebook post that I do every Wednesday. And if you haven't seen that, you can go there, or as always, you can check out my videos here. This is episode 50. That means we've been doing it once a week now for almost a year. So I have to start thinking about what I'm going to do for the 1 year anniversary. But I'm going to put a shout out to my subscribers. My internet's a little bit shaky here, so I wasn't able to get all the data I wanted before the show notes. So we'll say hi to everybody next week. Close to 800 subscribers, so I can't wait till I hit that 1,000 mark. Which apparently in the YouTube land gets me some more priority. So when people look for Reading Smoke, it'll be easier for them to find me and find the content, which is of course all free. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And I always like to say the links in the show notes will take you to the original video. And I want to really thank these people who are posting this stuff and making it available for us, right? So, but thanks for being here today. And so this is at night, and we always talk about how it's a little more difficult to read smoke at night, and that's the case here, but also it's harder just on video, right? So we're always sort of having to project what we think it's going to look like, and the more we watch video and the more you are at fires where you can see what's going on directly, it translates, but you can train your mind to see these things. And so even from the still photo, and those of you who watch regularly know I love these still images because they let us point out a few things. But already you can see that's a pretty clean burn, right? You got there's a bidirectional flow, so there's air, oxygen going in at the bottom, flames coming out of the top. For this room being on fire, there's not a ton of volume here, which tells us that it's a pretty clean burn, right? Smoke is fuel, and the more it gets consumed, the more oxygen is available, the less fuel is left over unburned, and so therefore the less smoke, right? So the volume speaks in some ways to how clean the burn is, how much you have a nice mix between the oxygen and the fuel, right? But we can also see that even though we're going to see in the video here just a second, there is some smoke sort of drifting out here, really laminar over in this area. There's nothing pushing from here, and you can also see in these windows that there's not a lot of soot on the windows, there's not black behind them, so the fire is, at least at this point, does not appear to be extending over into these spaces. And it's a little bit choppy, both because the photographer is bouncing around a little bit and the speed at which my internet's working today. But notice again here, right, nice clean burn, bidirectional flow, not a ton of volume up here above, and nothing really obviously pushing out. As he pans away and goes around the fire engine here, you're going to be able to see just briefly some smoke up here in the corner, right up here in the corner. And so let's let that roll through. And see, again, nothing showing anywhere where it looks like obvious extension, right? Nothing that we can see here down towards this delta end, right, of this building. There's nothing real obvious other than they're just starting a fire attack. He's going to hit it, then he's going to mask up, then he's going to hit some more. But you can see up in the corner over there, it's going to go back 10 seconds and draw your attention up into here. You can see there's some smoke volume coming out. Now, as he starts this fire attack, you can see also an increase in total volume, right? Clean, pristine, dissipating white, which indicates steam. We're going to come around And really the point of this video is to think about the over under on extension, right? So as you start this fire attack, if you're in charge of this, or maybe the resourcing, right? Um, so uh, my computer here is giving me a hint that we don't have that great of a connection, but we'll keep rolling. Not shown here, but what we would want to look for, right, as the fire tech, say, hey, what am I going to be looking for if this fire is extended to the attic? And you're going to see, if it had extended, you're going to see increasing in all four of the attributes of smoke: volume, velocity, density, color. They're all going to go up. Color's going to change from white or light in color to darker on the grayscale, moving towards black if it extends, right? If you knock it down and it hasn't extended, then any smoke that's coming out should decrease in those four, right? So we're going to see some stuff from the roof where there's smoke coming out. So what we do is we take note of the volume and the velocity, right, and the density and the color from these. And after this fire attack is underway, if those start to drop off, in particular if they drop off precipitously, then that's a really nice indicator that you don't have extension, right? If they keep going, or an increase in velocity is going to be a clear indicator there's some extension up into there somewhere, right? So we could really use velocity as the lever on which to balance this objective. Density would be, I mean, any of them would work for you, but as always, I really rely on velocity and density, right? And so as they get going here, he's going to pan out, and then he's going to pan left, pan right, and I have that stuff in slow-mo for us to look at here. But we'll just let it roll. And already we can say, hey man, there just really isn't, whoops, really isn't a lot going on. And look at that. See, so there is some coming out here. We'd want to keep an eye on that. We can see there's even more down towards Delta. Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? What's going on, right? And that would tell us whether we need to maybe cut this roof on the end, cut it off here and here, or get some lines in there, or both. Or maybe even order more resources that it had significantly extended. But if things are getting better in a relatively quickly, then we can say, hey, we've gotten over the top of it, and probably a first alarm assignment is going to be adequate. It's either already getting a line into the unit next door, taking proactive steps, looking at it, and this is all happening. This is all happening in a vacant. This is a vacant or derelict structure. A little bit of difference in the verbiage there, right? So vacant would be a building that's currently empty, like a house that's being sold or somebody's moved out of, or is going to move, just built but not occupied, right? So well maintained, all those sorts of things. Derelict is a building that's not being maintained. Fire systems, all that stuff is not being taken care of. All right. Anyway, so pretty straightforward today. Appreciate you being here. Apologize if the stream isn't as high quality as I normally like. I'm out on the road. Will be for the next couple of weeks. But I do appreciate you tuning in for Reading Smoke with Phil Jose and episode 50. See you next week, either on the SBSK site or right here with me. And thanks for being here. Bye.